Good morning, dear students. Today we'll start the second chapter of our syllabus in physics, that is chapter 11, Human Eye and Colorful World. Clear? And we'll continue with the part 1. Today we'll start part 1. Now in this chapter, for the academic year 21-22, some of the portions have been deleted. Okay? Now this chapter contains first structure of human eye, second function of human eye, diseases related to human eye, their corrections, how these diseases can be corrected. Next is dispersion of light, scattering of light, Next is the application of scattering and dispersion in daily life. Now this much portion is there in chapter 11. Now for this year, structure, function, diseases and their corrections, this portion have been cut. Okay, this is not there for your syllabus. Now we'll continue with the dispersion of light. What is dispersion of light? What is the phenomenon behind the dispersion of light? Scattering of light. Okay, then application of scattering and dispersion of light in daily life. So these three topics are there for this year. Okay, for this year these three topics are there. So we'll start with this topic. These topics are very small. This will take hardly 1 or 2 lectures. Clear? Now we are starting with the dispersion of light. Dispersion of light. Now the first topic for today is dispersion of light. So before starting this topic, dispersion of light, first we have to understand what is the refraction of light. What is the refraction of light by a glass prism? Okay, so we will study in here in this topic, that is refraction of light by glass prism. Okay, now we'll see the refraction of light by a glass prism. Suppose this is a prism, okay, it is known as glass prism. This is a glass prism. Clear? A glass prism. Now we'll see how the incident ray is refracted by a glass prism. Suppose, for example, this is an incident ray. This is an incident ray and this is a normal. We will draw a normal perpendicular to this. Now, as we have seen the rules of refraction, according to our first rule, when the light enters from rare medium to denser medium, or we can say when the light travels from rare medium to denser medium. See, this is a rare medium because here air is present and this is glass, so this is denser medium. So air is a rare medium. Clear? Now according to our first rule, when the light enters from rare medium to denser medium, then the refracted ray bends towards the normal. When incident light travels from rare to denser medium, then the refracted light ray moves or bend towards the normal. So see, this is the initial path, this is the original path which should be followed, but this ray is bent towards the normal. This ray will bend towards the normal, so it will be bent like this. Okay, again I will draw our normal to this surface. This is a normal perpendicular to the surface. Now see, this refracted ray will emerge from denser to rare medium. This refracted ray will emerge from denser to rare medium. So according to our second rule, when the emergent ray is transferred from denser to rare medium, when the emergent ray transfer from denser to rare medium. Why it is rare medium? Here air is present. So from denser to rare medium, according to our second rule, the light ray bends away from the normal. The light ray bends away from the normal. See, this is the path which should be followed by this emergent ray. This is the path which should be followed by the emergent ray. But according to the second rule, it will bend away from the normal. It will bend away from the normal. Clear? This is the normal, so it will bend away from the normal. Clear? So this will bend away from the normal. So like this. This is incident ray. Okay, and this is emergent ray. This is the refraction of light by a glass prism. Refraction of light by a glass prism. You can draw this diagram. Okay, now we continue with the topic dispersion of light. Dispersion of light. Now first we will write the definition of dispersion of light. What is dispersion of light? It is the phenomenon by which white light disperses or splits into its seven constituent color when transferred from a glass prism. And what is glass prism? This is a refracting medium. Okay. Now what is the definition for dispersion of light? The definition for the dispersion of light is, it is the phenomenon by which a single white light is dispersed into seven constituents color when transferred from a glass prism. Glass prism is refracting medium. Okay. Now we will see how a white light is divided into its seven constituent color, and actually what is the meaning of dispersion of light. See, again we will take a glass prism. Okay, suppose this is an incident light ray. Or we can say a white light. Okay, this is a white light. Now I will draw one normal perpendicular to this plane, one normal perpendicular to this plane. Clear? Now see, according to our first rule, when a incident ray travels from rare medium to denser medium, by this rare medium, here air is present and this is glass medium. Air is a rarer refracted ray bend towards the normal. Refracted ray bends towards the normal. It will bend towards the normal. Now see, when it bends towards the normal, so this is the path which should be followed. This is the path it should be followed. But instead of this path, it will split into 7 colors. It will split into 7 colors. Clear? So this will, now see, what is the rule? From rare to denser it will bend. From rare to denser it will bend towards the normal. It will bend towards the normal. So this white light is split into its 7 constituent colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Clear? It will split into its 7 constituent colors. Now see, this is the path which it should be followed, but since it's bent towards the normal and split into its 7 colors, okay, this will split into its 7 colors. Now again, these are the refracting rays. These are the refracting rays. Okay, these are the refracting rays, or it is known as dispersion of light. What is dispersion of light? The phenomenon of the splitting of white light, splitting of single white light into its 7 constituent color is known as dispersion of light. Now see, again denser to rare medium. Here air is present. Okay, rarer medium. So denser to rare. Clear? So they will bend away from the normal. They will bend away from the normal. Clear? They will bend away from the normal. So they will bend like this. This is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. This is known as VIBGYOR. This is known as VIBGYOR. Okay, what is VIBGYOR? Now see, the white light is spread into its 7 constituent colors. This is known as dispersion of light, and this band you can see, this is known as visible spectrum. This is known as visible spectrum. Okay. Now what is visible spectrum? The group of 7 constituent color light, the group of 7 constituents color light, the group of 7 color light. Okay, when a white light is split into group of 7 color light, this is known as a visible spectrum. Now this can be performed by an experiment in the laboratory when we supply a light, or when we provide a white light to the prism. Okay, on this side of prism we can see 7 different colors which are visible. Okay, this is known as visible spectrum. Clear? And by this phenomenon only we can see the rainbow. Okay, by this phenomenon only we can see the rainbow. Clear? We can see the rainbow. Now you can draw this diagram. This is very easy diagram, and it can be asked for 1 or 2 marks. What is dispersion of light? Dispersion is a phenomenon in which white light is spread into its 7 constituent color when it is transferred from a refracting medium. That is glass or prism. Okay, you can draw this. Now the next concept is total internal reflection. Okay. Next concept is total internal reflection. Clear? The next concept is total internal reflection. Clear? Now see, what is total internal reflection? For example, this is any reflecting surface. This is any refracting surface. Clear? Now we'll draw a normal here. internal reflection, we should keep it in mind for two concepts. For total internal reflection, the two concepts should be keep it in mind that total internal reflection is there when light travels from denser to rarer. When the light travels from denser to rarer, then only this total internal reflection is obtained, otherwise not. And the second concept is, the second thing is, the angle of incident. The angle of incident should be greater than critical angle. Should be greater than critical angle. Now these two phenomena should be there for total internal reflection. Now we'll see what is angle of incident and what is critical angle. And the first and most important thing, then the light should travel from denser to rare medium. Light should travel from denser to rare medium. Clear? Now we'll suppose this is an incident ray. This is an incident ray. Okay, this is an incident ray. So this is denser medium and this is rare medium. So the incident ray travel from denser to rare. So according to our second rule says that when any ray transfer from denser to rare medium, when any ray travels from denser to rare medium, then second rule says that it bends away from the normal. It will bend away from the normal. See, it will denser to rare. So incident light, it should follow the straight path, but it will bend away from the normal. It will bend away from the normal. See, this is the initial path which should be followed. This is the path it should be followed, but it will bend away from the normal. So this ray will bend like this. Okay. So this is the angle of incident and this is the angle of refraction. Clear? Now again I will increase the angle of incidence. If I increase the angle of incidence, see this is I2. I increases the angle of incidence. This is I2. So if the angle of incidence increases, the angle of refraction also increases. Clear? Again, if I increase the angle of incidence, this is I3. So at this point, the angle of incident, if I increase the angle of incident, the angle of refraction would be also increases. So this is R1, R2, R3. Clear? Now again, if I increase the angle of incidence, this is I4. Then the refracting angle will be perpendicular to the normal. Refracting angle would be perpendicular to the normal. Okay. So here in this case, angle of refraction is equal to 90 degree. Angle of refraction is 90 degree. See, when I increasing the angle of incidence, angle of refraction is also increases. This is R1, this is R2. The angle of refraction is increasing continuously. Clear? So again, if I increase the angle of incidence, so at this particular point, the angle of refraction would be 90. This is the refracted ray, and normal are perpendicular to each other, and this point is known as critical angle. Okay, this is known as critical angle. Now, again, if I am not stopped and if I increase the angle of refraction again, this is I5. Okay, this is I5 with the normal. So if I increase the angle of refraction now, here the refracted ray, so the refracting angle is also increases if I increase the angle of refraction. So here in this case, it will show reflection, not refraction. It will show reflection. What is total internal reflection? When an incident light ray travel from rare to denser medium, and it again bounce back to its original medium. Again it bounce back to its original medium. Then it is known as total internal reflection. See, I1, if I increases I2 and I3, if I increases the angle of incidence, if I increases the angle of incidence, angle of refraction is also increased. At one particular point, angle of refraction is 90, that is known as critical angle. And if I again increase the angle of incidence, then the incident ray bounce back to its original medium. Incident ray bounce back to its original medium. See, this incident ray is bouncing back to its medium. Clear? So this phenomenon is known as total internal reflection. Now, as I have told you that angle of incidence should be greater than critical angle. Angle of incidence should be greater than critical angle. See, this is the critical angle. Now, angle of incidence when increases, this is greater than angle of critical angle. So, the total internal reflection is obtained. So, you have to keep it in mind two concepts when total internal reflection is obtained. First, when the light travels from denser to rare. Second, angle of incidence is greater than angle of critical, or you can say critical angle. When angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, then total internal reflection is obtained. Clear? This is known as total internal reflection. Clear? Now one more concept is remaining, that is scattering of light, that we'll see in next lecture. Clear? So up to this I hope you have understood what is total internal reflection. Now in next lecture we are going to see the scattering of light. Now your homework for today. Your homework for today is find out daily life application of total internal reflection. This is your homework. Thank you very much.